Aaron is now off at Stanford. Does it seem like he's off at Stanford to learn new ideas? No, it seems like it's the first step in a ultimate escape from reality. So the ultimate escape from reality seems to be going into the ministry, and the only way he can go into the ministry is this initial escape step by going off to college. While he's gone, Abra is getting to know the family. She doesn't get along with her own family. So even in this fourth family, besides the Trask, the Hamiltons, and Kathy's parents, I think they're either the Ames or the Amesworth, this fourth family that Steinbeck delves into, Abra and her parents, there's a little bit of a Cain and Abel story, even though she is an only child, still kind of a Cain and Abel story in that her father, even though he doesn't have another child to prefers the child that he dreamed up in his mind. And he even gives that annoying rhyme, though he hoped for another Abra came. And so the father is every bit as guilty as Cyrus or anyone else for preferring his fictional child to his actual child. And what's Abra going to do? Well, she's going to find, just like Adam has in this book, father figures, and she finds those in Adam and Lee. But with Cal, she finds a competition. Interesting. They're not siblings, but she's dating a twin, and so they're kind of the closest to siblings you could be. And so even in that relationship, Steinbeck says that Abra feels like she's competing with Cal. So maybe they both want Aaron's attention or true love, and in Abra's eyes, it's a competition. Then we hear Abra get to speak on Aaron while he's not around, and she thinks that he's been crippled by not having a mother, and that's why people laughing at his dad's terrible lettuce idea, or great lettuce idea that just didn't work out, that's why it affects him in a way that it doesn't affect Cal. And neither of them had a mother, but some people need a mother in Abra's worldview, and some people don't need a mother as much, and so Aaron is someone who's been crippled by not having a mother. And she lets it slip that he's sort of gone to the side of the Pharisees in the religious pursuits. And so for that, she doesn't want him to go into ministry because he takes everything in a Pharisaical way, a rules-based, all-or-nothing, black and white approach that doesn't seem like it's going to be great to be married to. And then she says something very insightful, like father, like son, and she feels like she's not actually loved. An idea is loved instead of her. And of course, that's exactly Adam's major problem with Kathy, is that he invented a woman and then he loved the fictional idea of a woman in his head, not the actual Kathy. And it seems like Aaron is doing the exact same thing to Abra, and Abra goes a little even deeper. And she says, not only does he love a fictional version of me, but he probably did that with his mother. And combining those two things, we remember that chapter earlier when Aaron wanted to pretend that Abra was his mother, and he started crying and he felt better, sort of collapsing the two characters into one. The mother he never had, he never experienced, and his girlfriend. And so Abra remembers that and collapses the two idea and says, both the mother and me are idealized version, and he's throwing that idealized version of a mother on me, and I don't like it. That doesn't make me feel loved. That makes me feel ignored and not listened to. Your mom wouldn't have been all good, and I'm not going to be all good. So you better love someone who occasionally stinks, someone who occasionally sins, someone who isn't perfect, because that describes everybody. In this conversation with Lee, her father figure, the one she loves more, trusts more, speaks honestly with more than her own father, she also wants to know if Kathy is alive. Initially, Lee changes the subject. The second time, he has to tell her the truth. So from now on, we know that the only character who doesn't know if Kathy is alive is Aaron. And then we get some talk of the gift, and whenever we either talk of an inheritance or a gift or an inheritance gift, we see we're talking about one of the major themes of the novel. So Cal comes home, interrupting the Lee-Abra conversation, and he immediately pays back Lee for the loan that Lee made him. And on top of that, it seems like he has a stack of cash, and now we're headed toward Thanksgiving. And what is going to happen? There seems like all sorts of bad things could happen, because Kathy knows about Kathy knows about Aaron, and she knows where he goes to church when he's in town. His girlfriend, Aaron's girlfriend, knows that Kathy is alive. Cal is going out at night, presumably seeing his mother or stalking his mother. So this Thanksgiving gift seems like we're headed towards something come Thanksgiving. So then Cal and Abra have a conversation walking Abra home, and she says, "Do you visit the bad houses?" Now, from anyone's point of view, a teenage boy visiting a whorehouse, you would just assume a certain thing. She can't possibly know that he could have another reason for visiting a whorehouse, so she says, is it because you're a bad person? And Cal just throws the question back at her. Well, what do you think of a high school boy visiting a whorehouse? Of course, Abra could never have known that Kathy, that his birth mother, that her boyfriend's birth mother, is the madame there. And so she takes this opening not to be like Aaron and to be all judgy or preachy, but rather to just say, I'm like you. I'm a bad person too. And Cal looks at that and says, no, you can't. A bad person couldn't be marrying my brother. And if you were a bad person, he'd knock that straight out of you. So Cal and Abra bond in real humility, in that neither of them think that they are a good person. Meanwhile, and ironically, which is always the case with the Pharisaical side of religion, the person who's most confident in their own goodness is the most lost, and the people who know that they're lost are the most found. And so Abra and Cal find the humility, grace side of religion, and Aaron seems to be in the Pharisaical side of religion, where you knock the badness out of people or you invent the goodness that is not there in people. And so this is all seemingly headed like a steam engine straight toward a Thanksgiving dinner and what will unfold there.